Hey Waco, it's Mr. Errett, and I had a request to learn a little bit more about Google Forms and how they might be incorporated into your classroom to do assessments or things like that. Now, since I haven't been in the classroom this year, Google is always kind of changing things a little bit. I might have to figure out a couple of things on the fly here as we're doing this, and there are a couple of new features I know that I have not had the opportunity to test. But if you want to try one of them out, and want some support, just let me know, because I think there are some cool things in here that might be really useful in the classroom. But I'll take you through the basics of just making a Google form, and then we'll talk about how you can use it as an assessment. So in your Google Drive, just in whatever folder that you want to house your quiz, you just do New, but then you'll have to go to More, Google Forms, Create and Share. And now this is going to create a regular Google form, and a regular Google form is not going to be used for assessment. We have to go in and change some settings here. Before we do that, let's just talk quickly just basic Google form stuff. Right, you get into here, you name your form, tester Google form quiz, okay, and then once you click up here, it'll translate the title. You can write a little description in this spot, and then you've got your first question is made for you. So to make a question, you just click and you just say, "Are you having a good day?" I don't know, it's the first question that came to my mind. And then you can see that it will give you suggestions, and if it's a very generic question, it does pretty good at this. But then since we're on multiple choice, you can click Add All and you'd have 3 choices, or you can click here and type your options. Yes, whoops, spelled it wrong. You can just hit Tab a couple of times and you'll get down to the next line. No, kinda, and whatever else you want to put. Okay, so that's a multiple choice question. However, you can click the question, drop down menu here, and you can pick from all sorts of different questions at this point in time. So you can do drop down menus, check boxes, paragraph, short answer, file upload, that's a new one, linear scale, multiple choice grid, checkbox grid, I don't even know what those look like, date, time, etc. So you can change all those questions. Once you've made your question, you can check that it's either required or you can just leave it be. And I'll go ahead and say it's required since we're going to make this one a quiz. And then a lot of times, rather than clicking this button up here to make a new question, I just duplicate my previous question and just alter it. I don't know, that just works easier for me. But to make a new question, you click up here, and then it will make a new question below the one that you are clicked on. Also, you have options here for things that aren't questions. So you can just add text, you can add a picture, you can embed like a YouTube video, you can make sections, which means it's like you'd have one page and then they'd have to click next to get to the next page type of a thing. We're not really going to get into any of that. I don't know what this import question thing is. That's new. I assume it's like if you have some specific file type already made out, you can get into that, but we'll have to explore that later. So we'll just click add a new question. We'll make this one just like a true false. It is sunny today. True/false. Question mark. And then you can see it's already got our options there, and we can click add all, and then it adds it. Now, for some questions, you might want to add an other option. This would be more for like a form, so you could add the option that somebody could just type in a response if they didn't like one of the other choices. For our purposes, since we're looking more at like making this a quiz, we're just going to leave it at these two, and I'll show you how to turn it into a quiz now. So what we can do is up here in the settings, well, one, we can change the theme, in which case we can, pick a color, or we can pick, and we can pick different fonts and things like that if you want to pick different fonts. Okay. You can pick an image where you go to like custom image. They have some built-in ones, or you can upload your own. We'll do like these jelly bean things. And so those are just kind of like little options that you can do. But what we want to look at really is settings, which is the gear icon here. And in settings, this is where you can get into, like, you can see, do you want to collect email addresses? Do you want to limit responses? Can students edit their responses? Can they see what happened, like what other people put? Those are all things you want to consider. We are specifically going to check collect email addresses, so that we know who did the form. And we're going to do response receipts. And we'll say always, that way a student, like once they submit it, they get like a little email saying they submitted it. We will do limit to 1 response. And then we're going to go into quizzes, and we're going to make this a quiz. Okay, so at this point, I'll show you what happened when we go back to the form. But now it basically switches so we can mark a correct answer for a question, and we can also assign a point value to it, because this will like auto grade and check the responses. This thing is one of the new features that I haven't tried, but I think would be really interesting. And this says Chromebook lock mode. So if you check this box, I'm guessing when a student opens this quiz on their Chromebook, it like locks them from doing anything else on the Chromebook, which seems like kind of a cool idea to me. But again, I haven't seen that in action, so we're not going to put that on at this point. Okay, release grade. Your options, do you want them to see after they submit their question, their quiz, like what their score was? That's immediately. If you'd rather release it later, then you'd check this box, and then you could send it later. And then respondents can see, again, do you want them after they're done taking the quiz or doing the little assessment? Do you want them to be able to see the questions that they missed? Do you want to see the correct answers? Do you want them to see point values? That's all up to you in the moment. So if we're thinking this is a quiz, you're right, I'm probably going to uncheck missed questions and correct answers. And then we'll just, I would go over those later with students. Okay, so that's pretty much it for changing our settings. Now, when we go here, we've got responses. Oh, whoops, that's for later. So now we click on a question, and now we can set the answer key, right? So we'll click answer key, and now we can say, okay, this one's worth 1 point, and this is the correct answer. You can right here, hey Monty, you can click right here, and this will be like, it will give them a response after they have submitted something. So you could, if you're giving them the answers, you could give them the correct answer after they got it wrong, or you could give them some guidance or tell them good job or something like that. And again, you have the option to link to like a YouTube video or something as well, so if they missed it, they could go review something specific. So we'd have to do that for that one, and then we'd also click on this one, and we would again click on answer key, change the points, and change and mark what the correct answer is. So at this point, since we only did a 2-question quiz, we are now finished, and we can send this out to students. So how do you get it out to them? Probably, if you're interested in this video, I'm guessing you are using Google Classroom. So on Google Classroom, I'm just going to pick one of my old classes here that I had, so 8th grade 21st century skills. And so under classwork, we have the option to do a quiz assignment. And then what we can do is close that out, and we will go find our new assessment that we made. This one it made automatically. That's not what we want. We want the tester one that we made. So we're going to click that add, and then you can see here again there's like this option to go into lock mode on Chromebooks. Again, I haven't used that yet, so I couldn't comment on whether that works or not, or how that works. But again, if you want to try it, it'd be interesting, I think, to see what happens. got to give it a title like a regular assignment on Google Classroom, and then you can give any other instructions here. You can set the point value just like all the other regular assignment stuff, but that's it. And then you'll just click assign, and you see this little grade importing thing on here. If you're putting grades into Google Classroom after a student takes this quiz, it will automatically check it, and it will automatically import that score into your, not into your PowerSchool, but into your gradebook on Google Classroom. So it's a pretty efficient process if you do quizzes or assignments like this. I'm just going to change this point value to mark it off, and then again you can set a due date, you can set a topic, all that regular assignment stuff. And that's pretty much it. That is how you get started using a Google form for like an assessment or a quiz in your classroom, and that's how you set it up to be auto-corrected. Of course, we would click assign and send it out to students. I know this was pretty fast and we went through a lot of stuff. I am super happy to help you out if you would like to try to make one of these with me and use it in your classroom. So just let me know. Thanks.